Father and Lily were still looking at the light of the first candle, swaying back and forth. Lily looked like she was still pondering what her father had said.
But I've never heard of a song called Minnow Croutons? And that one's your absolute favorite?
Well, Minuit Chrétien was just a poem then. It wasn't a song just yet.
Dad, you were supposed to tell me about your favorite song, not some silly poem.
Father leaned forward to the second candle.
We'll get there. But for now, Placide and I had a bit of an argument. A rare snow had started to fall onto the streets of Paris. The cold autumn had given way early to the winter, and, for some reason, Placide had convinced Andrew to stay with him until the poem was delivered to the priest. A month had passed since then, and Andrew was feeling the weight of the time he had lingered there. Andrew recalled that Placide had been hesitant to deliver to the priest, and they spoke of this one day standing outside an old storefront.
I still don't understand why I didn't deliver the poem.
It isn't good enough, at least not yet.
Placide knocked on the door.
These words, these lyrics, they deserve more.
Andrew looked up at the modest building in front of them.
Where are we?
Welcome
Placide waved to someone inside as he grabbed the doorknob.
to the place where we will perfect Minuit Chrétien.
Placide bounded into the store with Andrew reluctantly following. Andrew caught his breath as Placide waved to a man walking in from the back of the store.
For a story as grand as the birth of the Savior, it needs more. It needs to reflect the hope that we discussed in no uncertain terms. Besides, the priests wanted for Christmas time. What is Christmas without some music?
It was then Andrew noticed they were standing in a music shop.
Music?
Andrew muttered to himself as Placide's friend approached. As Placide greeted his friend, Andrew looked around at all the instruments. He saw guitars, lutes, and cellos, all hanging from the walls, even some instruments he had never seen before.
Andrew, allow me to introduce my friend. This is Mr. Adolphe Adam.
Andrew greeted Adolphe and shook his hands. He noticed they were callous from decades of playing instruments. Andrew stared at the man. How could this be the person that Placide had chosen to compose his song? Placide suddenly pulled out the crinkled paper containing the poem out of his jacket pocket, handing it to Adolphe.
Huh. Seems important. Give me a moment. I'll take a look at this.
As he lowered his head, Andrew noticed the necklace Adolphe was wearing. It was the Star of David.
Placide, can I speak to you for a moment?
Andrew gestured for Placide to follow him to the other side of the room, Adolphe still eyeing the paper.
Are you sure that this is the man you want to compose your song?
What do you mean?
Minuit Chrétien, Placide. You said yourself that you don't even believe in the subject you're writing about. It's dangerous enough to hand this over to the leaders of the church. What do you think would happen if you turned in the composition of a man from a completely different faith?
A different faith?
You are more observant than that. The Star of David around his neck, the menorah in the window.
Andrew gestured to the front entrance.
Placide, this man is Jewish. He does not believe that Jesus is the Son of God. You're already risking enough not being part of the church. If the priests find out that you let a Jewish man compose a song, Minuit Chrétien may never be heard.
Andrew then noticed the sound of Adolphe composing at the piano. They grew quiet listening to Adolphe's new melody.
Minuit Chrétiens will be heard, regardless of our personal decisions. These words and Adolphe's melody are far too important for them to suppress.
How do you know?
Because of love, Andrew. The love of the Father that you have been telling me about for the better part of a month. Did you think that I was only listening for the benefit of a poem? No. This love is bigger than you, me, or even those at the parish. The love of Jesus is for everyone and everything. In fact, the people of Israel, the people of Adolphe's faith, were the original people that Jesus was sent for. This song will speak to everyone. This song is of God.
Adolphe played the music again. Andrew closed his eyes and listened. It was beautiful. Possibly the most beautiful thing he had ever heard. Slowly, they both wandered over to the piano. When he was finished, Adolphe turned to the two of them.
The only thing it needs now is a more joyful name. I believe Cantique de Noël will suffice.
Beautiful.
Like I keep saying, Andrew, when something is of God, it finds its way to you.
The fire flickered and cracked as Father continued his tale.
We brought the newly written song to the parish later that week. That Christmas, Cantique de Noël was played for an audience for the first time. Just as Placide predicted, it was fully embraced by all who heard it. Eventually, it would spread like wildfire across all of France.
Did they ever find out that Placide and the other guy weren't Christians?
They did, but it was not before most of France had fallen in love with their work. But, alas, nothing lasts forever, and sometimes darkness does fall quickly.